Today I know that I'm pretty. I'm Maria. I was born in Ukraine, in Russian family. Lived there until last year. Now came to study contemporary art in Oxford. I bought these shoes because just before that I was making this jump with parachute from the plane. And I liked this kind of things here because they looked like from something from parachute when you fix it on yourself. So I thought that I can have them because I will be always ready to jump with parachute. Blue is my favorite color, so it wasn't a choice. I just got them because they were blue. That was one of the first time I went to Britain, and I got them in London, and then I brought them home. So I don't know where the home of these shoes is, as well as I don't know where my home is. But we are going back and forth, Britain, Ukraine. I had a cat for 9 years, and for me, always home was the place where my cat is. I haven't been to Kiev for a year already, and it will be a surprise when I come back if I will still feel it like home. I just don't know it about myself. Before we had war between Russia and Ukraine, I felt myself part of Russian opposition, in a way, Russian liberals, and yeah, this part of Russian society which was pro-European. When the war started, I was kind of even ashamed that I'm Russian in Ukraine. After you say I'm Russian, you should add, but I support Ukrainian. You should make this notice. Which kind of Russian are you? Are you that Russian that loves Putin, or are you that Russian that hates Putin? I don't remember any adventure in the shoes, but I just remembered that these were first shoes that I were not ashamed of, because I liked them completely, like everything about these shoes. And when I got them and came back to Kiev, I was trying all the time to sit like, so these shoes are visible, so people can see them. And I was like putting my legs on my feet on the table, so everyone can admire my nice, beautiful shoes. In everyday life, I'm looking forward to come back to my work, to my projects, to what I'm doing. If I'm very much into projects, into one project that I'm currently doing, I hate when I have to do something else. And I go to bed thinking about my project, and then I wake up thinking about it, and then I run to continue doing it, and it's the best thing. Sometimes when working, I forget to eat, forget to have rest. Difficulty is to switch from working mode to having rest mode. Living in Oxford feels like the whole town is more human. For a person, it's very nice to walk. You have tons of parks and benches and not so many cars, not crowds of people on the streets, so you feel more comfortable here. But I feel safe in Kiev because of I lived there for 10 years, and I know where everything is. I know a lot of people, so when I walk through the street, I kind of about 2 or 3 times say hello, just on normal street. So I feel like, yeah. So it's tricky to say about home, like of special house or apartment, but the whole city of Kiev, I think it's kind of. Me and my mom, we have same feet size, so I was when I was small, I was not small, okay. When I was already about 16, I was sometimes wearing her shoes. Yeah, and maybe that is the person that in her shoes I can imagine myself very well. Yeah, because this is the person that I know longer than anyone else. And she hated when I was wearing her shoes, because she's very accurate with wearing things, and she can wear one pair of shoes for 20 years and they look like new, like brand new, like from the shop. She does nothing to things. And when I put on anything and you wait for an hour and then this thing is like someone was wearing it for 10 years. And so she just hated when I took her anything. She said that it's spoiled now. You can have it forever. Yeah, it's fun to imagine how the other person feels, and you can do it by talking to the person for a while. You kind of connect to other people with your brain, and you can imagine why they act like that or why they say things like that. And when you listen to a story, to background, you can understand everything. Like why he did that and what was his what were his reasons for doing that. Yeah, it depends on if you are willing to understand the other person or not. If you are, then you can do it, because it's hard emotional work. If you sympathize everyone, you feel this pain of humanity and it takes tons of energy. So maybe one should use the skill only if he really wants to understand something. I think every human being should have basic income. I'm sure. So that those things like food and shelter and minimum of clothes are not even discussed and they are not a question. I think every person needs freedom. Yeah, we have this nice paper with written human rights, but we still cannot refer to it every time. Like not in all the countries people accept this document as something serious. Before I moved to England, I thought that for me it's important that I have close people who share my views around me. But when I moved here, first I didn't have anyone, but now in a year I have family, and so other people become family, and I'm fine. And now I realize that I don't need anything, that I can come to any place on the earth and just connect to people there. Yeah, I would like to have British passport, not to live in Britain, but to just travel around the world with passport, for which I don't need any visas. I was one of the lucky ones. I didn't ever have a problem. If I wanted to go somewhere, I just applied for visa, got visa, and went there. But most of people in Ukraine, they are not so lucky. They can't apply for visa and get it. It's quite expensive and it's a bit tricky, so they can be refused in visas. And besides, they just simply don't have money for the ticket, for a plane ticket or something. They cannot afford to go there. And so it's maybe not about visas and passports more, it's about income that people have. We are not a closed country. If someone wants to go somewhere, he can apply and get there. But people just can't afford this. Of course, it's something offensive in this. If you even have money and you want to go somewhere, and you can buy yourself a ticket, but you can't go because you first need to go to embassy to collect tons of documents, to apply, to explain to people that you are not going to escape from your country and to stay there. It's a bit offensive. Yeah, of course, ideal world will look like everyone has basic income and has this kind of, or maybe without any passports at all. I think that's more about inequality from the very beginning. If you are born in this country, you don't have these opportunities as other people do. We can now dream, of course, about this ideal world without borders and with equal passports and stuff, but I think it's secondary because, first of all, we need to fix out this education problem, and because when children are born, they're kind of equal, but they don't have equal opportunities. That's the main problem. That's where we're gonna start from, and then come back to borders and stuff. I try to challenge myself all the time, and just not to sit still and do what I do. So when my life becomes routine, at that very moment I try to come up with some idea that will turn my life, or how do you say it?
Upside down.
Upside down. I don't know where, it's about process. So I don't have a certain aim that I need to achieve. I'm fine with just going. You just go and you just enjoy. And if you enjoy your walking or running or the process of your movement, then you will arrive, I think, in some aspect.